step into the well. What am I doing? I'm not doing this. You have both straps in front of you, and you hold your thumb underneath the handle so that the rope straps pass under your forearms. You bring your hands to the front corners of your box, probably taking some sort of a lunge step. Good place to adjust your box if it's not in place. And then you step over your straps, ropes, into position. Yeah, we haven't done this with risers, I think, ever. It's a world premiere. Where does the body go on the box? I would say shoulders and knees. Put the center in between put the box in between those 2 points. Right? Your shoulders should be a little off, your knees should be a little off. You don't want them against the edge, right? So just find the center between shoulders and knees, put the body there. Yes? Somebody asked about the setup of swan dive, tailbone lifts up, how do we deal with that there, right? This is a really great place to look into that, because as much as I can tell people to squeeze their butt, if their hip bones are not extending down into the box and actually firing hip extension, then you can squeeze your butt all day and nothing's going to change in your body, right? So he's pressing his hip bones down, which activates his seat just enough. He kicks his heels to his seat once, twice. And then from here, just like when you're swimming, your arms and your legs move simultaneously. Arms and legs extend, and just pause there for a second. Stay down, flat. This is the position we look for first, right? Bend your elbows back in to come back to the start position. Kick once, kick twice. Arms and legs extend, they arrive at the same time. See where the rope tension runs through his body. He comes back in. We'll do one more just like that, then I'll have him step off for a second and we talk about that much. Stretching the arms and legs. Because this is the dot of breaststroke, right? Come all the way back in, and then step off to the side. You step over your straps or ropes, probably into some sort of a lunge step so that you're on pretty solid feet, because the spring is still in tension. You bring the whole thing back in, and you slide your foot in to a perfect fifth position. What are we teaching the body here? Relate this for a second to stuff that we've just done, and think what's added. A push. We are lifting something overhead, right? Now think of that in terms of traditional reformer work, classical reformer work, or exercise you know. How many times do we lift something overhead in reformer? Something that is loaded into spring tension. Not that much. Just learned something. Semicircle, exactly. That's really the only place, right? And there it comes with massive extension, right? So this is our first place where we can see how does somebody deal, because what's nice here is you have all of this wiggle room, right? If somebody, lives in this posture, right, they can still work on that, right? In a full-bodied fashion, learn what it takes to lift something overhead, have your shoulder compressed, right, by the spring tension rather than distracted where it pulls the arm out of your shoulder, right? It pulls it right back in to relate to it differently there. Somebody said rowing just there. That's true too. It's very similar, but we never really go quite overhead in the same fashion where it's linked to full body, because then we sit cross-legged positions, right? So this is a very different pattern. Also, linking that to your leg movement, right? Both the swimming exercise, backstroke and breaststroke,